Hello, this is Edwin Black of The Edwin Black Show, author of War Against the Weak, Financing the Flames, and many other globally best-selling books. Each year at this time, I make some personal recommendations for books I think will make a difference for both the giver and the receiver. My first suggested volume is The Multifront War by threat analyst Ken Abramowitz. There it is. This hard-punching and broadly praised book was first released last year, but now seems more predictive and relevant than ever. At the time, some wondered whether the author's assessment of the movement for socialism, tearing down America, and China's drive to dominate were as strong as he suggested. But now we see uncannily that everything Abramowitz warned of has come to pass in spades. Every aspect of our society is being torn down, and communist China is making clear that within a few years, it wants to dominate the world, including the United States. Get this paperback at Amazon or any Barnes & Noble and click into the book site at themultifrontwar.com. Autographed copies are available. Second, at a time when our ethics and values are being challenged left and right, ethicist Faye Lincoln offers us an important book, Values That Shape the World, Ancient Precepts, Modern Concepts. The beautiful cover depicts Mount Sinai because Lincoln takes a deep dive into the Bible and other holy books to find meaning and relevance to the world we all knew, the world we all see today, and the world currently spinning out of control. You can find the hardback at Amazon, but for a special gift, the special commemorative edition with a dust jacket can only be found at Barnes & Noble. That is bn.com, and you can hit Lincoln's website, valuesthatShapeTheWorld.com, for an autographed copy. Naturally, you might like to know which of my own books I'm recommending this year. Two of my many volumes rise to the top right now. The first is The Farhood, Roots of the Arab Nazi Alliance in the Holocaust. Why? You may remember that some years ago, I proclaimed International Farhood Day at the United Nations in a ceremony live globally streamed by the UN. Recently, I announced a second special international commemoration, Yom HaGirush, Expulsion Day, to demarcate, mourn, and warn the world of the 850,000 Jewish men, women, and children who were expelled in a forgotten ethnic cleansing unparalleled in the history of humanitarian abuses. I speak of the coordinated international expulsion of some 850,000 Jews from Arab and Muslim lands where they had lived peaceably for as long as 27 centuries. November 30th was recently set aside by the Israeli government as a commemoration of this mass atrocity, but it had no real identity or name like Kristallnacht. For years, I worked quietly behind the scenes to give name and identity to this additional commemoration. In late November 2021, on the show, I did just that. I announced Yom HaGirush, Expulsion Day, to designate the one day set aside to recall that 850,000 men, Jewish men, women, and children were expelled penniless and stateless from their ancestral lands stretching from Morocco to India and from Yemen to Afghanistan. Lives and centuries of legacy all incinerated in a coordinated international action implemented by senior escaped Nazi officers and Arab leaders worldwide. It was done in broad daylight with barely a murmur from the world. It happened not even 5 years after the world learned that 6 million Jews had been exterminated and millions more made refugees. You'll be able to read the details in my original 2010 edition, The Farhood, the first book to link the pogroms of 1941 with this awful post-war expulsion. Grab it at Amazon or bn.com, or if you want an ebook, you can grab one from Google, Apple, or Kobo. My fourth and final recommendation is the latest edition of my best-known book, IBM and the Holocaust, now available in 190 countries in many editions and many languages. More than 1 million copies in print. But this year, we rolled out a special 20th century anniversary commemorative edition. It's really nice. Available only at Barnes & Noble, bn.com. Thank you, Barnes & Noble. This edition makes the point that after 20 years, and despite thousands of requests, IBM has never denied a single sentence in the book. And after 20 years of unending daily discussion, not a comma has been changed. I globally syndicated a special editorial driving home the point that some corporations can just get away with murder, and IBM has proved that. Or if you wish an autographed paperback, just come to my website at edwinblack.com. Please excuse that phone call. You have the 4 recommendations I've just given you. Pick one if you like, but this year, whatever you choose, give the gift of illumination, the gift of knowledge. In these times, we need it. Have a special and meaningful Hanukkah, Christmas, or other year-end holiday. I'm Edwin Black.